Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we look at 3 people who have been jailed for firearm and drug offences in Croydon. Yoshika Smith, 23, of Canning Road, Addiscombe, Hugo Maldonado, 22, of Gedge Court, Mitcham, and Joshua Anyan Wu, 28, of Whitehorse Road, Croydon, appeared before sentencing at Croydon Crown Court in connection with drug and firearm offences. Miss Smith was sentenced to 40 months for conspiracy to possess the firearm and 32 months for the conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. These sentences will run consecutively. Mr. Maldonado was sentenced to 12 years for conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life and 4 years and 6 months for conspiracy to supply Class A drugs to be served consecutively. Joshua Anyan Wu was sentenced to 14 years for conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life. The 3 had previously been convicted after a 7-day trial. The court heard how Miss Smith had been driving around South London dropping off drugs to various people, with Mr. Maldonado using WhatsApp Messenger to instruct her on which locations to attend. Mr. Maldonado asked Miss Smith to drive to a location on Whitehorse Road by a petrol station to pick up a bag from Mr. Anyan Wu. Miss Smith later claimed that she didn't know Mr. Anyan Wu and at the time and did not know what they were collecting from him. Miss Smith's car, a blue Ford Fiesta, was already under surveillance by police that day, and officers witnessed Mr. Anyan Wu approach the car and get in the front seat. Officers noted that he was only in the car a very brief time, presumably just to drop the bag off containing the firearm. He left the car and made his way back to his address a short distance away. Armed officers then followed Miss Smith as she drove away and conducted a stop on her car. On arrest, she admitted that she had been given something illegal but did not know what was in the bag, just that it was something heavy. The bag had contained a loaded handgun. At the time of arrest, he was in possession of a mobile phone that had used to contact Miss Smith and to arrange drug deals and the collection of the gun. The message and call history on the phone clearly linked him to the illegal activities. Prior to the trial, Mr. Maldonado and Miss Smith had pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. Miss Smith had pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess the firearm without intent to endanger life. During the trial, Mr. Maldonado and Mr. Anyan Wu both also pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life. Fourth defendant, a 20-year-old female, was also arrested. She was acquitted due to the lack of evidence. Detective Constable Mick Grimshaw of Specialist Crime South, who led the investigation, and said, "It is so important that we continue to fight against illegal firearms on our streets. Not only that, but those convictions have allowed us to remove a significant drug line out of South London. We want to do all we can to remove Class A drugs like cocaine from our communities to make it a safer place to live." Drug dealing has a deeply negative impact on the lives of many and is closely linked to the violence we see on our streets. Bringing a firearm into a situation like this, particularly in the case of Mr. Maldonado and Mr. Anyan Wu, only incites and encourages this violence to occur. So what are your thoughts about this Croydon trio who went on to distribute Class A drugs such as cocaine and a firearm offence, which see the trio spend multiple years behind bars? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.